Did you hear me? Repeat it? No, y'all heard it. I've been very outspoken about fundamentalist Christian churches and taking them to task. What would I say to affirming churches, to like United Church of Christ, people that welcome LGBT people? You know, I have a really bad habit when I get on cable news or radio, or sometimes in front of people, of starting to pound the podium and goddamn Christians this, goddamn Christians that. I'm not always careful to qualify Christian, or to put it in quotes. Not all Christians are anti-gay bigots. My mother, chief among them. I am not an anti-Christian bigot. The very last thing I did for my mother on her deathbed was run through a hospital in search of a priest. I'm not hostile to religious people or belief or faith. I was raised Catholic. I consider myself culturally Catholic. I've actually read the Bible, which is something a lot of Christians, particularly Catholics, haven't done. And I think there are great moral truths and great moral outrages in the Bible, including the slavery stuff and the masturbation stuff. Hello. So I'm by no means, by no stretch, do I want to be perceived as, nor am I an anti-Christian bigot. Here's what drives me fucking up the wall about welcoming, affirming, tolerant, liberal Christians and their denominations. When I get into a lather and I'm pounding the podium about a Tony Perkins, and I neglect to qualify Christian with right-wing fundamentalist, batshit asshole, douchebag Christian, they sneak up behind me or get on email and they whisper, "We're not all like that." I know you're not all like that. Tony Perkins doesn't. Tell him. Tell all the right-wing batshit fundamentalist Christians who have usurped Christianity, who claim to speak for all of you, the Christian Family Association, not the Evangelical Taliban Christian Family Association, the Christian Family Association. They're the ones who have created the impression that to be Christian is to be anti-gay, that to identify yourself as Christian is to take sides in a war against lesbian, gay, bi, trans people in this country. Don't tell me. I know. Tell them. Be loud. We need liberal, progressive Christians to be as active, organized, and loud as Tony Perkins. And you need to get in, not my face, when I argue with Tony Perkins on CNN and condemn his brand of Christianity, but get in his face, and get in CNN's face for helping to promote the idea that all Christians are anti-gay bigots. There was a poll out recently, a couple of years ago, that showed that the fastest growing religious group in the country is non-affiliated, no religion, no expressed preference. And the atheists, the Christopher Hitchenses of the world, held that up and went, "See, people are, Richard Hawkins, not Richard Hawkins, what is his name? Dawkins, Richard Dawkins. Said, "Oh, yay, look, our group is growing, more and more people." And then when they dug into the numbers, they found that a lot of those people who were unaffiliated were actually Christians who didn't want to identify publicly as Christian because that meant that they were anti-gay. How did that happen? I didn't do that by neglecting to qualify Christian on CNN. Tony Perkins did that. Donald Wildman did that. Maggie Gallagher did that. And they did it with the silent complicity of liberal Christians and liberal denominations that allowed them to hijack Christianity. So my advice to liberal and progressive Christians is stop whispering in my ear and start screaming in Tony Perkins' face.